A traditional pill faces a brutal journey. Plunging into stomach acid, the medication immediately begins to break down. Whatever survives that environment is routed to the liver. This is first-pass metabolism. The liver treats the medication as a foreign substance, degrading the active ingredients before they reach the bloodstream. To compensate for this loss, doctors must prescribe higher initial doses than the body actually requires. Transdermal drug delivery systems provide a direct route. By delivering medication through the skin, we bypass the liver, increasing bioavailability and maintaining a steady concentration in the blood without the sharp peaks of oral pills. This diagram maps the anatomy of human skin, a structure evolved to prevent foreign matter from entering the body. The critical defense is here at the surface. The stratum corneum is a dense, lipid bilayer structure that blocks water, pathogens, and most therapeutic molecules. Because passive diffusion through this barrier only works for a tiny fraction of drugs, engineers must design active, microscale physical interventions to force a breach. To deliver large therapeutic molecules, proteins, or genetic material, we must temporarily disrupt this barrier without causing permanent damage to the surrounding tissue. This illustration categorizes active transdermal delivery approaches by physical driving force. On the left, electroporation and iontophoresis apply precise electrical currents. Centrally, sonophoresis uses ultrasound waves to push molecules through the barrier. On the right, mechanical microneedle arrays create microscopic channels directly into the epidermis. These modalities act as targeted siege engines, each using specific physics to transport a different type of therapeutic payload across the biological wall. This schematic illustrates iontophoresis. A low, continuous electric current utilizes a drug and counterelectrode on the skin. The primary mechanism is electrorepulsion. Because like charges repel, the electric field pushes positively charged drug molecules deeper into the tissue. A second mechanism, electroosmosis, also occurs. Since human skin has an inherent negative charge, the current induces a bulk fluid flow, carrying both neutral and charged molecules with it. This diagram contrasts that steady flow with electroporation. Instead of continuous low current, it applies short, high-voltage pulses to the tissue. A microsecond pulse of up to 500 volts physically disrupts the stratum corneum's lipid bilayers, creating temporary pores. This method involves a specific safety threshold, differentiating between temporary disruption and permanent cellular destruction. This chart plots electric field strength against burst number. Reversible electroporation is the goal, where the cell membrane becomes permeable but heals. If voltage exceeds the Rudline's threshold, it causes irreversible electroporation, resulting in permanent damage and cell death. To utilize this safely, engineers tune the pulse voltage, duration, and rate to match the specific properties of the drug molecule. Electrical systems grant us deep transdermal access, but they demand rigorous precision to ensure we do not destroy the tissue we intend to treat. Sonophoresis shifts from electrical fields to kinetic energy, using low to high-frequency ultrasound to alter skin permeability. Here, an ultrasound device applies waves into a coupling gel, the medium for the therapeutic molecules. These waves trigger cavitation. The acoustic energy creates microscopic bubbles in the gel that rapidly expand and collapse. The collapse of these bubbles generates microstreaming forces. This localized pressure punches temporary channels through the lipid barrier, allowing large molecules to pass through. By utilizing sound waves, engineers force a rigid biological wall to become temporarily fluid and permeable. The final approach bypasses the barrier mechanically. A physical structure breaches the outermost layer without triggering a pain response. Microneedle arrays are engineered to penetrate only the superficial epidermis. They create microchannels while stopping just short of the nerve endings in the dermis. This chart classifies microneedle designs. The top rows show solid needles for poke and patch, coated needles for rapid deposition, and dissolvable needles releasing payloads. Below are hollow and hydrogel forming systems, allowing continuous medication flow directly into the tissue. Manufacturing requires specialized microfabrication. This 6-step diagram outlines the polymer molding process. Liquid polymers are poured into microstamps and cured under vacuum, ensuring the material fills the deepest cavities before the final array is peeled away. Precision is the absolute requirement. Even minor microscopic defects in the tip geometry will prevent the needle from penetrating the skin effectively. Microneedles provide the efficacy of an invasive syringe with the safety and ease of use found in a standard adhesive bandage. The current frontier lies in combining these methods. This illustration shows hyaluronic microneedles integrated directly with an electrode system. Layering sonophoresis or iontophoresis over a microneedle patch enhances drug permeation through these secondary pathways. These microchannels can also work in reverse. Instead of pushing drugs in, engineers use them to extract interstitial fluid. These flexible microfluidic biosensors capture the extracted fluid and analyze it for specific biomarkers in real time. This enables a closed-loop system. The patch detects a physiological signal and autonomously triggers the microneedles to release a precise drug dosage. Transdermal systems are moving towards integrated, wearable platforms capable of both real-time diagnostic monitoring and autonomous therapeutic response. Before these automated patches reach patients, they must be tested for safety and efficacy. Traditional pharmaceutical testing relies on animal models, yet these models have a 60% failure rate in predicting human toxicity. Microfluidics solves this. Engineers sort specific human cells to create living, functional 3D tissue models on circuit boards. These chips recapitulate the mechanical stress and spatiotemporal gradients of human organs, providing human-relevant data that animal studies often fail to produce. This data is driving immediate regulatory shifts. Both the FDA and the European Commission have announced plans to phase out animal testing requirements in favor of these models. Microfabrication is providing a superior route through the skin, while simultaneously establishing a new human-centric scientific baseline for how